Thanks, Sam. The NFL just adopted a new national anthem policy for the entire league. It reads that any players on the field must stand and show respect for the anthem, or the team could face a fine from the league. Players can remain in the locker room during the anthem and cannot be forced to take the field. The Players Association responded saying, quote, "The NFL chose to not consult the union in the development of this new policy. Our union will review and challenge any aspect that is inconsistent with the collective bargaining agreement, and the change will go into effect the upcoming season."
Now, Brett, I do want to ask this because I read earlier that the penalty was a 15-yard penalty at the beginning of the game. That's not the case?
No, they were discussing that last night, but they opted instead today to charge a fine to the entire team, but the amount of the fine is not disclosed yet.
Wow. So I've already seen the reaction on my Facebook account, DBL Nation. We want you to chime in because everyone has an opinion. I know that you are an avid football fan. Yes. What do you think about this?
You know, a lot of people look at this and they'll think it's a First Amendment issue, like they should be able to do what they want to do. That is true only in the case when you're talking about the government. The government can't tell you what to do, but the NFL is a private corporation and they can do whatever they want to their employees, and they are allowed to do this. And there's one side of me that looks at it from a business perspective where the NFL is like, our clientele doesn't like this. We should change this policy. But then there should also be some morality when you say, even if our clientele doesn't appreciate this, we need to do what's right. You know, I think about Jackie Robinson and like what the Brooklyn Dodgers, probably the decisions they had to make, putting an African-American player on the field. I'm sure they knew that their clientele didn't want that, but look where we are now because they made that tough choice. The NFL needs to make a tough choice and do what's right.
That's a good point. Now, civil disobedience being the high stakes here, and is their responsibility, but you're also a season ticket holder. What's your feeling when you go to games nowadays?
Well, I mean, my husband and I had the conversation this morning when it was about the penalty to 15 yards that we won't be renewing next year or next season. It probably would have happened this season, but we've already renewed.
Because of the kneeling?
It's the overall climate. I mean, when we go to NFL games, it's escapism.
Right.
And now we're having full-blown conversations in the stands, and they're very diverse opinions. If I want to share my opinion, I'll do it at work. I don't want to do it in an NFL stadium, so it's just, I think it's really frustrating because we have gotten to the point where everything is so political that we can't even enjoy what we're there for.
Yeah, but what if those players, they're on the grandest stage, they have millions of eyeballs looking at them. You say you want to share your opinion at work. Why can't they share their opinion at work?
You could give rounds of applause all you want, but this is a business, and they run it like a business. If your uniform, if you don't pull your socks up, you get fined. If you don't wear the right cleats if Nike sponsors your uniforms and you wear Adidas, you have to cover up Adidas. There's a lot of rules in NFL. This isn't just a rule trying to disobey or trying to block free speech. There are multiple rules and multiple things you get fined for. If you don't come out on time, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, there's fines for everything. This is just another thing on this particular business
can I just
list.
ask you,
I just want to clarify that I'm not talking about the players kneeling. I'm talking about the conversations in the stands.
Right.
Yeah, you're
two totally different things.
As a season ticket holder.
Right.
Yeah.